Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are we doing? Straight in with recording. It's Rusty.
Fucking hellfire.
It's Rusty from Porky's Corner. Another video I'm not getting paid for. First few seconds.
Let's start again then. Let's start again.
Oh, you're all right, mate. Let's pod on. Right. How are you?
Sorry about that, mate.
Don't worry about it. I get yellow flagged every single day.
Because
So
normally you tell me when you're going to hit record. So I'm like, oh.
I pressed the wrong button. It don't matter. We're flying anyway. How are you? I know you haven't got long. You all right?
No, I'm all right, mate. Like, just been busy this morning. And then, trying to find some time for the gym as well. Get my cardio up.
Cardio up, eh, Terry?
Yeah, we're trying to get to your weight, Porky.
What, 10 stone?
Oh, were you up again?
£13. No, 50 or 8.30, and I'm bang on 141. I am nearly a couple more ounces. When I get this down,
I'm going to text UCAD.
Hey?
I'm going to text UCAD. I'm like, how's he getting so big so quickly?
These what Scott Brunt got me from Ziggy's.
See that?
Hey?
That's an Eastern European drink, man.
There's some big lads in there, mate, lifting some big weights.
That's that Usyk juice.
So what, Usyk juice? Yeah, what, nuts and berries, special blend?
Yeah. Man, they were the old days, man. I remember that in Jamie Reese's gym down in Sheffield. Remember he used to have that gym down by Bramall Lane?
Yeah, I think that's Richard's close friend who comes in here because they were in competitions together, strongman things. I think it's his friend.
Yeah.
Jamie Reeves. Yeah, he won it, didn't he? One, yeah, main one.
89. Was it 89?
I remember seeing Jeff Capes on it one day. Big old beard on him. He crushed a big chair. You ever heard Jeff Capes? He didn't look like he could lift, though. Just looked like some bloke who stood at end at bar, wasn't he?
Wasn't he a copper?
Yeah, old Bill. It was years ago. I seen him on shot put competitions.
Yeah.
On telly. Strong man.
Imagine he'd put the cuffs on you, Porky. There'd have been no resistance then, mate.
They just put me back at cop car and done what rest of them just knocked my teeth out. Right then. A lot's been going on. Eddie Hearn said he'd done 80 interviews on day one. Well, he's done nearly 150 now after day 3. That's more than he's ever done because I've checked. Is he having to work even harder now? Poor Eddie.
Mate, you know what I always say. It depends how this deal's structured, right? Because if the Saudis are fronting the 150, Eddie's got to do some work. Eddie can't just switch off and go, I'm not going to help promote this. And also, remember, DAZN are going to be putting pressure on Eddie to drive the subscribers up. So even if Eddie wants to be lazy because Sky have got the pay-per-view in the UK, he's still got to justify why DAZN has spent the money for the other 190 countries that they'll be broadcasting in. So he's just got graft. And I know we give him a hard time, Porks, but that's the one time I want to praise Eddie Hearn. Like, his work ethic when it comes to fight week is ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you think that he's been helped a lot this week by everybody feeding on the Johnny Nelson comments? Because it's like a mad frenzy, isn't it?
Let's give Johnny his due, Porky, right? Go back a couple of years and you're calling him Company Man Nelson, yeah? And now Johnny's just saying what he wants to say. And people are still complaining that he's a company man. I'm like, give Johnny credit because what he's been able to do is he's been able to make Fight Week partly about him and Sky. And that's his job. Yeah.
Do you feel, though, that Johnny's not shackled as much now than Sky are not with Matchroom? Because a lot of things had to be Matchroom one-liners, didn't they? But now, do you feel that Johnny can just be himself now?
The Johnny I see on IFL and the other channels is the Johnny that I know. Before, like when he was on Sky, you felt that it was overly scripted. Like they were definitely, passing on the story from episode 1 to episode 2. But now if you ever sat down with Johnny over a drink, this is exactly what he'd say. Like he genuinely does believe he'd give Usyk a hard time. He does.
You reckon?
And yeah. And so you should. No, hold it. And so you should, because if you're a real fighting person, you're not going to be sat there going, Prime Usyk would batter me. Well, no way. Like even you, Porky, right? When it came time for you to spar Spencer Fearon, you were like, wow, mate, I'm definitely going to do it. Do you see what I mean? Like there's a certain pride you have to have in you. Yeah.
If he turns up at Chris Smedley's gym and I'm fucking not like this, let's get at it with headgear on. It don't bother me.
See?
If I'm
Yeah,
not bagging me off like you are.
yeah. But and so I think that's the same with Johnny. Johnny's just he's been brilliant this fight week. I think everything he's done, he's played a blinder. He's played an absolute blinder because normally Eddie Hearn's to focus the fight week, right? And Johnny's managed to steal that limelight with ease.
By provoking Eddie.
I don't even think he cares. I think Johnny's goal was to get in front of the zone, get Sky in front of the zone, make sure that people are focused on the Sky machine and not the zone machine. And in terms of that, he's done brilliant.
Well, I mean, every time I turn my telly on, everybody's got an opinion on what Johnny Nelson's said. Why are they not talking about the fight?
Because the fight's on Saturday.
Yeah, no, but they're all talking about Johnny's comments. I've just seen one with Sam Jones. He's piped up. To be fair to him, Sam Jones stuck it to Johnny Nelson on IFL, which I thought were funny because I thought he was his chum. But he's attaching his caravan up to Eddie Hearn's wagon, isn't he, Sam?
Listen, man, Sam's literally an orphan looking for a family right now.
He's like wanted to be best mates with everybody. It looks like he's on outside looking in, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like, he hasn't got Joe Joyce anymore, has he? Like, all that kind of head of boxing at Pro Bellum stuff ain't really worked for him. You know, he's looking for a way back with his tail between his legs. Listen, he's no one to be saying anything to Johnny Nelson. Like, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people need to show Johnny some respect. You know, Johnny understands this thing we call boxing, and people need to really respect that about him, man. So he can say what he wants because, I mean, at one time we were watching him. Well, maybe not watching all of his fights, but we watched a few.
Hey, listen, Johnny Nelson, we've got to give him respect, mate. He couldn't fight. He's a shit pundit, and he's made millions. So he's a genius. So Johnny, respect.
Now he's a good pundit, man. He knows his stuff.
What when he's saying that Tennyson ices Tank Davis?
Hey, that's what Eddie told him to say.
Or when he's saying that McGregor will get Mayweather down straight in championship rounds? Hey.
He nearly did.
Terry, Mayweather played with him. He could have took him out at any time he wanted to. Come on. What about that other one? Tackham's like George Foreman and Holyfield rolled into one and he fears for Joshua. He took the fight at 12 days' notice. I could reel Johnnyisms off all day, mate, and you'd all go, oh. I just want him to get one right for a change.
No, I don't. All I want for Johnny, I want Johnny to be that lightning rod that when Johnny Nelson talks, it starts trending because then he's doing his job.
Why ain't anybody talking about why you can never find the Carl Thompson, Johnny Nelson fight on YouTube? Why can't anybody find it? Is it because it was the first stoppage ever?
Well, I don't think so. I think it's because no one actually watched it.
Oh, it was the worst stoppage ever from a ref on his first world title fight. So the gods have shone down on Johnny Nelson for a long, long time, mate. So a long, long time. He talks utter waffle, in my opinion. But if he's going to stick it to Eddie Hearn, I'm Team Johnny. So go on, Johnny.
No. But what he said about Joshua was right. What he said was spot on. If you're Anthony Joshua and you lose twice to Usyk, and a year ago you were talking about being undisputed, where do you go next?
Well, the Usyk's the same that is the main guy, aren't they? Now Fury's saying he's retired. So if you lose to him twice, isn't that bad, is it really?
Yeah, he's still a little heavyweight.
Yeah, I know, but if you're losing...
Isn't that what you said? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah. But if you're losing to Usyk twice, though, is it Joshua going to become an also-ran? Or is he going to, like Sam Jones has just said, dust his send down, go to the drawing board and start again?
So when you're nearly 33 years old, you can't start again, right? You got to work with what you've got. For me, I just think if you're Joshua, you got to have that Amir Khan type career now, where you're like, Either I'm taking him out or he's taking me out. That's all there is to it.
Do you feel, Terry, that Eddie Hearn's under a little bit of pressure this week out there? Because there's a lot riding on this fight for him.
I think he's under a lot of pressure this year. Because if Joshua does lose badly, Usyk is not a commercial monster. Whatever anyone tries to tell me. You never know. Usyk may just drop the belts and go, listen, I've got business to take care of in the Luhansk region. Do you know what I mean? Like, he could literally win these fights and say, no, the struggle of my people is more important than holding these belts.
Yeah, and he might just do that because he seems to come from that sort of cloth, doesn't he, really? You could imagine him a stand-up guy with his pals, out one night for a drink. You could imagine that, couldn't you?
Yeah, he's like a Ukrainian Porky Russ.
Yeah. I was going to go to jail while everybody else is at home. Do you think that, looking at Usyk, I look at these guys from that, where he's from, Usyk, Lomachenko, Bivol, Golovkin, them sort of guys, Kovalev. They're not really big mouths, are they? They don't shout about, they don't shout the mouth stuff. They're not big self-promoters, are they? They just go about the business, don't they? I think that's refreshing for boxing.
I'm the opposite. I think it's terrible.
I know, but when you look at these top guys who are at the top of the game, your Usyk, your Beterbiev, your Lomachenko's and people like that, Errol Spence, Crawford, the in I Know You, wherever him will put Jamie McDonnell on Moon. Them sort of guys, you don't hear a peak.
Can you just call it a new way? I know you.
I know you, yeah, that's what I call it. Because I can't read. I'm not really good at reading, am I? So it's a Beterbiev or I know you. Well, that's it. That's how you write it, right? I know you. That's what it says, doesn't it? I know you.
Brilliant.
Done it, my lad, didn't I? Just read you what's that said. Then he went, I know you. That says he's a boxer. I call him I know you now. So, well, kids don't lie, do they? Just tell it straight, don't they?
Yeah.
But no, Eddie's good. People are talking about pressure and this and that, pressure to normal working mans, your kids going to school and wanting nice things and times are tough. That's pressure. Eddie's saying there's a lot on riding on it and people are talking about pressure and that. Do you think that we might see the mask slip a little bit if Usyk wins this weekend?
What, from Hearn or from Femi?
From both of them, Big Meech and Eddie Hills, the Iceman from Billy Ricky.
So, if Joshua loses, that would have been twice. If he gets stopped, that takes a lot of value off Joshua because Usyk's not a puncher. It's not like Usyk was just icing people at cruiserweight, right? He was grinding people down with work rate. He wasn't icing people. He wasn't stopping people. So if he stops Joshua, that's not it's a horrible look for him. But remember, I still want Joshua to win on Saturday. I really, really do. And before the guys in your comments start having wet dreams and stuff and start moaning, there's a reason why. If Usyk wins, just go back to the World Boxing Super Series of Cruiserweight. That was just a hardcore thing, right? It never really crossed over the same way the middleweights did. The middleweights crossed over because you had Eubank Jr. and Groves in there. So it was a broader appeal. And I think it was far more successful commercially. If Joshua wins, there's more money in boxing for everyone. If Usyk wins, I don't think Usyk generates the same kind of money Joshua does.
Do you feel, Terry, that you might have a point there because he's not a self-promoter, is he? Do you feel though that out of all the fights Usyk's had, what is he, 19-0? He's beat everybody. He's done everything he's been asked of him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that the only one who he didn't have his own way with were Bradis?
And parts of the Chisora fight I thought were very uncomfortable for him until he got his eye back in and he just locked in because Chisora's timing's off, right? So Usyk loves guys who are classically trained boxers because you can just kind of predict the timing. Chisora's timing's just off. Like when you see him spar up close, it's just offbeat. Like the punches come when you don't expect them to come. I think once Usyk kind of got that and said, I'm better off just running away from this problem and waiting for him to get tired, that's when he had more success with Chisora. I thought what Bradis did really well, Russ, was he used that kickboxing background he has. So he used his feet a lot more than anyone's ever done against Usyk. And so Usyk was never able to get set. And then Bradis was quick enough to go, well, I can throw these uppercuts. And I think the uppercut for Joshua is the key fight. If he can bring shots up the middle, Usyk seems to struggle with those. The straight shots Usyk sees all day. The uppercuts, especially if you aim for like the chest and the collarbone, be a very uncomfortable night for him.
He looked very comfortable after like about 20 seconds against Joshua in the first round. He sort of set his stall out and he had a bit of a grin on his face, didn't he?
Mate, did you see how fast he was moving in that first round?
He shocked Joshua to death. I don't think Joshua could cope with it, couldn't he, at the beginning?
Mate, I'll challenge anyone listening to this, right? Go into your local boxing club. Not even fight. Go and shadow box like Usyk was moving against Joshua. Tell me how many rounds you can do of that. And the thing is, Joshua was trying to match him for that. And I'm saying to myself, Usyk's been doing that for 15, 20 years. His tendons, his ligaments, his whole body is designed to do that. Joshua's trying to do it on those overly muscled legs. And I was like, ooh, mate, you're going to hurt yourself.
Do you feel that Joshua's only chance, Terry, is to come out and just try and bulldoze him?
No.
Remember
I said this to you before about Usyk. If you can dominate, as an orthodox guy, if you can dominate that left-hand side, you take away 70% of what Usyk does. Yeah? Because, look, I can walk you through the first round, you'll see. Usyk, feint, pull the head to the right, jab, pull the head to the left, pull the head back to the right, double jab, pull the head to the right again, get out, reset, start again. And he'll do that for the first 2 rounds comfortably until he starts to see where the holes are. Then he'll start throwing the backhand. And then once the backhand lands, he'll start bringing the right hook in while still pulling the head off to the side, throw the right hook, pull the head back to the left, shoot the left hand. It's pretty predictable. Just go break those habits. Easier said than done, though.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal fighter, though, Terry. We have to agree on that, don't we, on Usyk, don't we?
Yeah. Look, Johnny's right when he says Usyk's not a freaky southpaw in terms of like a Pernell Whitaker type guy. He's not. He's not a Naz. He's not a guy that's rewriting the rules on being a southpaw. But he might be the best at him and Winky Wright might be the best at the fundamentals that we've had in the last few years. Just like hands up, nice and simple, nothing flashy, but they can do it consistently round after round.
Well, doesn't he? He does everything well, doesn't he? Everything. He's like a 9 out of 10 in every box, isn't he?
So I always apply the Porky test to a boxer, right? And so what I do is I'll hit pause 100 times during a fight, and I'll count how many times I think that guy's in the right position. And Usyk's the kind of guy where it's like 90 times out of 100, he's in the right position. His hands where they need to be, his feet are where they need to be.
Freeze frame it, don't you? Like a lot of trainers do. Do it in 30-second blocks, Terry. Just see what he's doing and try and sort of discover a pattern. Then, don't you?
Every boxer has a pattern. If you can break someone's pattern, everything they did in camp will fall apart. I guarantee it.
That's why Fury's hard to beat, isn't it? Because he never showed Dillian an uppercut, did he? Till he took him out, did he?
No, but you saw him looking for it. There were little things he was doing where he was trying to work out, okay, where's that gap? And once he saw what the gap was, he didn't go for it immediately.
Oh, he
waited for Dillian to tire. Because that's what you do. So, Russ, you remember back in the day, like, was it 2016, like when you had that hammer of a right hand? And you never rushed in. Yeah. I remember this, you never rushed in. And you always you always told me, Terry, I'm going to let him get tired, right? And he's going to drop his hands, and I'm going to do it. And he's going to remember that he did it to himself. I didn't do it to him. He did it to himself. And that's what Fury was like with Dillian. And now, have you heard what Dillian's saying now? No. He hit me. Yeah, it was a good shot. But then he pushed me over and I twisted my ankle. Oh, my God.
You did push him, though, didn't you? Have to hit him. But it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah. In boxing, well, it's not that he pushed him down. He pushed him for more space. If Dillian had stayed up, he'd have caught the straight right. I
thought he made a meal of that, mate. Did you?
Who, Dillian?
I thought he would have. I think he was looking for a way out, because he couldn't get near it, running out of rounds.
I thought that uppercut finished him. And people can say what they want. It was a push. He wasn't he wasn't in any fit state to do anything after that uppercut. It wouldn't have been safe.
After all that, and all that hype, and
all that 1,000 days and that.
And after all that, and then he turned up and he just put him on his knee and said, "Come on, son, I'm going to take you to university today." Okay then. Dave Allen's on Sky, is it? Or I think it was Sky. He's obviously saying about how good Usyk is, and he sparred Joshua, and he's
oh god
to beat him on it. Yeah, I know that. I know. Sparring partners getting wheeled out. But what do you think? You think he's right? Usyk beats Joshua?
No, I'm Team Joshua on this one, and people are going to go, there he goes again, back in the black fighter over the white fighter. No, I'm going with the damn money, okay? Because I just want Joshua to call Wilder out. In fact, even if he loses, I want him to call Wilder out, because for us, let's be honest, what we want are the big fights. Yeah. I genuinely don't care about belts anymore, because we know how dirty the system is. The belts mean nothing.
Yeah, they're all famous in their own rights now. White, Fury, Wilder, Joshua. All of them are. They're all named. Joe Joyce was even getting the bar, and that. The belts don't mean no regular, international, intercontinental. It's all utter nonsense, isn't it? Let's just have these people getting at it. Let's just call it a Muhammad Ali trophy or something, or I don't know, Joe Louis. Yeah.
Mate, I'm 100% on board with that. That's all I want. I just want good heavyweight fights now. And maybe if Joshua did lose, Russ, it would free him up.
Yeah, might do. It might do. Something needs to happen. You made a good point about sparring on your pod. I'm nicking a bit of your material here. I thought, obviously, you made a good point about sparring, and I think it's one of the only things I do agree with you on. Fowler, Eubank, they've sparred Carthorch, right, and they've done well, for 3 rounds. After that, Fishfield, mate. Is that because they come from that? Because they're getting into pros kind of thing, and they're getting used to it.
I think I said in my episode, and if you're listening to this, make sure you go and grab that episode.
What you call it, the amateur button or something.
Yeah. After 3 rounds, your body's almost like, whew, we survived that. And it just shuts down. And then you go, oh my God, we got another round. And you're never as good in that 4th round as you were in the 3rd.
It's like when you've got somebody who you know's gonna come out every round, no matter what's happening, they're gonna get off the stool. I suppose it must affect you in here, doesn't it? If you like Anthony Fowler, because Carl Froch will even admit this, you couldn't get near him for 3 rounds, and after that, it's game, set, and match, innit? They're used to the fight being over after 3 rounds, aren't they? The Olympic stars, or the kids just coming through, like Eubank, he's sparring in, did well early, but it's something that you have to. Is it to train your mind for it, Terry, all that kind of thing?
Yeah. You get your body and your mind just get used to going longer. And then what you tend to find happens is in that transition from amateur to pro, you start doing more over a longer course by doing less in the early rounds. So amateurs come in and they go hell for leather round 1, right? Because that's what they're used to. So what they have to learn over time is do a little bit less, hold that energy, do the first 3 rounds on your fundamentals, box well, and then you get that second wind where you almost change from burning glycogen to burning fat. And that's like a really painful part that you got to go through. And then once your body's comfortable burning fat in the mitochondria, then you're all good.
So that's why they take them in it from 4 to 6 to 8 and all that, innit? So do you think that Olympics and stuff like that, or kids up from Olympic teams and just turning pro, they just get to spar the top guys for sharpness, I would have thought, and quickness in it and that, yeah?
So someone like Carl will spar Fowler because he needs that. He needs to know what it's like at 100 miles an hour. He knows it's never going to be that fast when he fights. Like Froch knows he's not going to fight anyone that's got the work rate of Fowler over the 3 rounds, but he wants to know what that feels like. So mentally, it doesn't surprise him if it were to happen. And then from rounds 4 onwards, it's just tactical.
And after round 8, it's just a case of will, innit, really?
Yeah, heart, will. Just, building those reserves of character.
I think that's why, your James Tonys and that, they want big on training because they just get through on skill, wouldn't they?
No.
Have you seen him fight when he won cruiserweight, when he came back? He fought that Jurov.
Yeah.
That's a right
fight,
isn't it?
Yeah. And it goes to show, man, you like, if you spend enough of your early years on skills and fundamentals, man, they'll never leave you.
Yeah. It all came back to him that night, didn't it?
Yeah, well, listen, the fruits, nuts, and berries, mate, they help.
Oh, James Toney, fruits, nuts, and berries.
Well, no, he popped. Remember, he got banned.
Holyfield's been banned, hasn't he?
Yeah, they've all been banned. All your favorite boxers have been banned.
Oh, I'm devastated. The Cobra's not been banned.
Well, he's banned from London, that's for sure. We don't want him around here.
You're up again, aren't you? Okay, Eubank and Benn, it's done. Is it a safe fight, Terry? Yes or no?
Yeah. Remember, Russ, you got two privately educated boys here being promoted by another privately educated boy. They'll know what they need to do.
The Silver Boys.
Yeah, there'll be nothing. There'll be nothing crazy at this one. There'll be nothing that isn't planned out. Nothing. This will be a good corporate fight. It will do all the numbers it needs to do. It will land where it needs to land.
Do you feel, Terry, that if it becomes too much for young Eubank, that the towel will come in?
I think I said that in one of my pods, right? I said, look, you'll see it by round 4. Tony Simmons will have the towel on the shoulder.
Do you feel that if Eubank gets stopped, he retires?
No.
How could he come back though from losing to a small welterweight?
He'll make excuses around the weight. He was probably injured. He came in with a bad shoulder. And then he'll call out Billy Joe and we'll go, okay, fine,
all
Billy
bases are covered, aren't they, for both fighters, aren't they, if they lose?
Yeah.
It's a win for them, innit? And $5 million a piece, and it's a lose-lose for fans, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's a win for
the cost and all that, too, because they're going to pay-per-view it, aren't they? And they've both not even won a world title, have they, if you want to not count the IBO for Eubank.
This is interesting. So for me, I love this because of what it represents. It's rare that two children of two rivals fight each other. This is rare. I'm trying to think, has it happened before? Has Joe Frazier's son fought like George Foreman's son or something like that? I don't know, Russ.
Frazier fought Mike Tyson, didn't
he? Yeah. That's probably as close to like a next gen as you can get. And Paul Marvis Frazier overmatched.
Yeah, I was just like, do you know the guy who made the match? Is it Johnny Boss?
I think so, yeah.
He was the famous matchmaker for Mickey Duff, wasn't he, for Frank Bruno's opponents. He was investigated him, They got investigated them.
Did he have to hand his laptop in?
I don't know. No, he got investigated for some opponents who were giving Frank Bruno. There were massive investigations into it. Google it. It's all on Google. But Marvis Frazier, that's closest I've ever seen anybody get put on planet Mars. Did you see that fight with Mike Tyson?
Horrible. Horrible.
Shouldn't have been nowhere near him.
Nah, but he was a Frazier, so they had to do something, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm on about. Gimmicks. Eventually, what happens with these gimmicks? Look what happens.
But for me, this Benn Eubank thing will really catch fire when the dads get involved.
Yeah.
If you ask most fans right now, they want to see the dads get involved. That's really what most people want to see. Because remember, boxing fans on average, what's the average age of a boxing fan? 39? So you want to see the dads. Okay, let's see Chris and Nigel go at it.
They've been wheeling these out for years. Benn Eubank's grandkids. Benn Eubank's house cleaners are going to get at it now on ITV, B, whatever they call it, ITV. ITV4 or something. Okay. Who's your top pound for pound guy in the world at the moment?
Jesus, this is tough. It's got to be Canelo because he's the only one that's moving up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until people start moving up and down more, it's Canelo. But if you said to me, the guy who I most respect in boxing right now, The Charlo with all the belts.
Okay, is that your top guy? Yeah.
Yeah, because he's won his belts the hard way.
Has he got a defeat though, Terry, on his record?
I think he's got a. Did he lose to Harrison or did he draw with Harrison?
I think he's got a defeat on his record. I forget.
Which is fine.
Rematched him, didn't he?
Yeah, and then beat him comfortably. We shouldn't criticize people for losing, Russ.
No,
because
it's really, I understand that. Yeah. I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, we should be there saying, look, this guy, Charles had one of the harder runs towards winning 4 belts that anyone's had.
Yeah, he has had it hard. But then again, would we like to see him in with Beefy Smith?
No.
Would it be a massacre?
It just wouldn't. Liam Smith's had his time, right? Unless he can get Kelbrook out of retirement, there isn't really a fight for Liam Smith.
No. Eubank in it or Kelbrook if he's lucky.
Yeah. You can't put him in with Cheeseman. I don't even know. No, I don't know what you do with Liam.
Okay. All right, then. Well, listen, I know you've got something on, and nice to get a quick half hour or so with you, get your predictions. So you're going to go for Joshua then, your prediction, Terry?
I am, yeah.
Anthony Joshua on points or knockout?
Stoppage. I think he stops him.
Right. Richard.
By the way, just for everyone, I'm prepared to be massively wrong on that. So it wouldn't even hurt my pride if I was wrong on that one. But it's what I think is best for boxing.
Terry, you're not backtracking already, are you?
No. I told you I'm Team Femi, man. I'm the newest member of the team.
Okay, then. Well, listen. Your Team Femi, I'm going to get off because I don't want to visit off you and all these boys.
Yeah, you know who he knows in Essex.
I'll just ring my mate Spencer Fearing up. He'll deal with it. He don't mess about, Spencer.
I haven't seen him for a while. Where's he been?
It's been quiet, actually. Spencer on it, to be fair.
He's normally like...
interview we did the other day on IFO, which were half all right for him.
Because normally this is the time where you see he's everywhere, like in fights like this.
Yeah, he is. Maybe he's a bit cheesed off with boxing like the rest of us. You don't know, do you?
Mate, like you remember we said this, if Joshua loses, it'll be the dark ages of boxing in terms of money.
Oh, tell me about it, mate. It'll be back to 2000s, won't it?
Yeah, like Donny Dome and all that sort of stuff.
They'll need me to come out, won't they, in 2024, the class of 2024. Remember Genesis in 02?
Yeah. No, that's what they need, mate. Porky, man. Don't worry about the age of the body. The teeth are young, but he's good to go.
Come on, you ball breaker. Listen. See you later. Have a good day.
Take care, mate.
Bye, mate. Bye.
All right.
Oh, that was Terry. He's going for Joshua. Well, it surprised me that. I think it's his own opinion, isn't it? But I'm looking at other people's predictions, and I think people who are saying Joshua's going to win, they have to say that because they're in industry, aren't they? And I think it's a sad indictment of boxing where you can't give your opinion. So this is who I want to win. I want Usyk to smash him to pieces and send him to food banks. I hope he loses and ends up on Skid Row and his promoter. There you go. Let's put it out there. I'm only saying what I think because I've got no filter. I'm not going to be like Sam Jones crawling up at his starfish. Do you know what I mean? When really Sam Jones knows his boxing. He knows Big Dossa Meach ain't got a chance. So just be honest. All right. Peace out.